I'm I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm sure I'm throwing up deuce right stab. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm sure I'm throwing up deuce right stab.
Now I gotta work my wood grain wheel. Popping trunks, popping pills, seal, popping seals. High in the hill with my mind on meal. Piece and chain slinging, bang, chrome, shiny grill. Baby, I got $1,000,000 dreams with my mind on cream. I'm in that mean green machine, clean on 19s. Flat screens in the headrest, swinging like a swing set. Brandy wine paint wet, coming down, it's a bit. I'm in the lot chasing bras like a lesbian. Full of that flower, I'm breaking on pedestrians. Higher than the street light, floating like a parachute, busting like a bumblebee. Mustard green Bentley coupe, young gangster Mac, gang sharper than a thumb tape. Breaking them out, making all the boppers a track. Then they watch me, I'm rocked up, fully loaded and sloppy, trying to hit it and quit it and walk off like Big Papa. Break them off.
I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm sure I'm throwing up deuce right stab. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm sure I'm throwing up deuce right stab.
I pull up like this, untouchable white wrist. I'm hotter than warm, every grape sun kiss. The truck go miss 550 snow bunny. Billy Continental with the mink flows, dummy. Power wall money, that's expensive taste. And them friendly fools, we send them to my space. I'ma break them off until the backbone broken. Stainless steel drop, phantom, leave the top open. Then hit the fan, better cover your nose. And the start burning, better cover your clothes. Concrete crumbling, glass shooting lasers, crawling and cutting up on 24 razors. I'ma show them how to make the slab look phenomenal. Chasing paper in the morning, call me Houston Chronicle. Hold on, then you buckle up the seatbelt. Swish your house, young done, capital TF.
I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm sure I'm throwing up deuce right stab. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm sure I'm throwing up deuce right stab. I'm breaking.
I'm higher than a satellite, crawling like a baby, maneuvering through the traffic like I'm Tracy McGrady. Still chopping on them buttons, I'm strutting and looking fresh. Switch hitting like Bergman, this is ballin' at its best. In that Minute Maid, drop a with retractable roof. Follow the wood, waving the hood, student loans on the two. The fifth wheel on the ground, in the trunk in the air. Power wow, baby, I'm the definition of player. My skills is so ill when working that wood wheel, tipping foes like a waiter. Beware the horse feel. Widescreen mind frame, panoramic picking. I'm sipping on that Osama, baby, leaning like I'm lipping. In that two-seater fleeter, it's me and the senorita. 3 ounces up in the liter, and it's 10 up in the heater. Macking the mama cedar, running game like a cheetah. I'm knocking them out the park, similar to Pangina. Break them off.
I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm breaking them off real bad. I'm sure I'm throwing up deuce right slab.
Good evening and welcome to the Wyatt Live 1 p.m. Facts Over Feelings conversation show, whatever you want to call us here. Daryl Carpenter, don't start. Let's do a sound check so I can make sure Daryl Carpenter just heard that. DC, please don't start with me today with my Bengals. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Wyatt 1 p.m. Facts Over Feelings show. My apologies for being late. I wasn't coming today. Can you hear me? DC, just for that, now I gotta go. Now, look, bro, I was gonna tell y'all short show today. I got things to do. I'm leaving. I'm actually out of Cincinnati here in a minute. And but I just thought I'd come on. Trust me, I really wasn't coming on today. I put the post up. I was ready to move on. And then I said, why not? I'm not leaving till about 7 o'clock. So I said, why not? Let's just talk about a few things. I didn't write anything down. I don't have anything to talk about, but I'm here. I don't want to talk about my Bengals. I don't want to talk about who they. Okay, this is my travel cup. This cup go everywhere that I go. I sit wherever I sit. I sit next to my cup. Let me just say a couple things about that Bengal game, if I may. All right. Um, that was a game that I felt like they they could have won, should have won, but they came off on a slow start. Let me just be honest. This offensive line is it's overpaid and underachieving, and it seems like any team that beats us, they beat the offensive line. Okay, they beat the offensive line. That seems to be our Achilles heel, the offensive line. Um, I, you know, Joe Burrows. Thank goodness he's a young man. Okay, because he can absorb that punishment. But somebody gonna kill him in the NFL. Somebody's gonna absolutely knock his dome off. And it's not that I want that to happen. It's just that that offensive line is a problem. And when you get some young guys, you see what happened yesterday as they playing for Houston is playing for a young coach, an aggressive young, good coach. And they're putting that pressure, and they were showing Burrows all these different schemes and blitzing and coming in and this and this and that. And this offensive line has not been together long enough to figure these things out. Now, I'm going to put some of this on Joe Burrow as well. Joe has to recognize where these blitzes are coming from. He has to recognize where things are coming from, what gaps they shooting. He has to recognize that. But I'm going to tell you something. In the NFL, nothing is easy. Nothing is easy in the NFL, bro. Everybody out there is good, great. And Joe Burrows is not playing against college players anymore. He's playing in the NFL where, where these guys are, they running 4-3, 4-4. And when you make a mistake, they make you pay. Just like we do. Joe Burrows make defenders pay when he's on point. But you can't throw 3 interceptions. I believe it was 3. I didn't write it down. From what I remember off the top of my head, 3 interceptions is not going to get the job done. And I mean, the one interception in the end zone, bro, he wasn't open. There was 3 defenders around the ball. Joe, who was you throwing the ball to? Hit the hot dog man up in the stands. Don't throw it into 3 defenders, bro. I just didn't get that one. So when all of those, I see some comments about what's his name? Here, let me read it so I'll know what it is. So what's his name? Here, let me find it. Boyd. AP. What's up, AP? AP, Anthony Parsons said Boyd should have had that winning touchdown. He should have, but that didn't cost them the game. I never see one play as costing somebody the game. You could say that those 3 interceptions cost us the game. You could say that one drop pass cost us a game. You could say that when Cam Britt made that interception at the end of the game to give us the ball back and he didn't make it in the end zone on that interception, you could say that cost us the game. I'm a guy, I'm an athlete. I understand that quarter 1 counts, quarter 2 counts, quarter 3 counts, all 4 quarters count. And something that you did in the first quarter that cost us a touchdown could hurt us at the end of the game. I just don't believe that one play makes the difference. I think one play could make an instant difference, yes. But there was a lot of missed assignments. Our DBs, see, a lot of people don't really understand, and I'm not trying to be that Marvin Lewis of the shit, right? But a lot of people don't understand football. Everybody think it was like when we was in sandboxes, all right? And we would all line up like we did downtown or in the Fay. We would line up on who we gonna check. I got him, I got him, I got him, I got him. It don't work like that in the NFL. It don't work like that in organized sports, okay? It's not one-on-one. The defense calls a play, anticipating what the offense is going to do. It is the coach's job to put these guys in the right formation of a defense in order to cover certain things. And we don't really look at it like that. We always say a defensive back got burned, but we don't know who missed the assignment. Or we don't know if the offense anticipated us being in a dime formation or whatever formation it is, and then they worked through the cracks. You split coverage. Who got burned? They split the coverage. Damn. It's not that somebody got beat. It's the offensive coordinator called the right play against a defensive coverage. Now, what I like to see, like the one kid last year, I can't remember his name, but the guy, the cornerback that used to get beat all the time, it wasn't he was getting beat all the time. He had great recovery because he would get, what was his name? I don't remember his name. Somebody put it in the screen because he's not here anymore. He was from Ohio. He went to Ohio State. I'm sorry, I can't think of his name. I don't have it all today. But he had great catch-up speed. You know, he would look like he was playing the defender because he could catch up from behind. Eli Apple, Sean D. Nutter, thank you. Been about that trick, said that drop by Boyd cost them the game. It may have at that moment, but what about 3 interceptions? What about an interception in the end zone? The game was really over. Strauss just made a mistake and threw an interception to Grit. They should have been running the ball. And they made a mistake and threw the ball to Grit. Cam Grit ran back. He should have scored. That cost him the game. He got caught. He got hawked down inside the 5-yard line. That cost him the game. Think about it. We went 3 and out, 3 series in a row, 4 series in a row. That could have cost them the game. You didn't score nothing. The Bengals are used to this. Is my team, so I feel I can criticize them. Shit, I pay a lot of money to go watch them. I go on the road. I have the right, damn it, as a fan, to criticize them. But to be honest with you, the Bengals are a team that's built to score every time they touch the ball. And that means 7 points or 3 points. You got a kicker that can kick half the field. You got a kicker that can kick the ball half the field. Yeah, we got a tough one this week. Miss Pittsburgh, what's good? Ross Freeman, welp, you just effed up again. I don't know what happened this time. Did he say something? You know how he do me. Oh man, I don't know. I don't blame one play. I don't blame one play as the problem. I never do that. Hey, look, let me get to the show. Let's go straight to the phone lines, man, and see what we got going on. I have nothing to talk about today. I just wanted to say something about my Bengals, man, and we'll go straight to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What up, Wyatt? This is your number one caller in all the land, the most hated, the never duplicated, Drop Squad 52. What up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Drop? How you feeling today, brother?
Good, man. Just got back in town,
Oh, you made it back.
Huh?
You made it back.
Yeah, I made it back, man. Hey, bro, this old man getting used to Uber. Wyatt, let me tell you real quick. Okay, so I fly into Phoenix and I get an Uber to my daughter's house. So I was telling the Uber driver that when I made the request, the driver, he dropped off and I was waiting and I was starting to panic, right? So he said, well, next time, just make a reservation, right? Okay. So I'm like, okay, all right. So fast forward to yesterday, I'm sitting there with my daughter and I told her, I said, I got to make a reservation. She's like, oh yeah, make the reservation. That's cool, right?
Okay.
I make the reservation, Wyatt. Come to find out, the original fee would have just been $27, but the reservation cost me an extra $17.
What reservation? What's the reservation?
Right, just by booking it the day before, because I scheduled a 6 a.m. pickup.
Oh, okay.
And because of the hiccup that I had at the airport getting there, I didn't want another hiccup. So I figured I'll just make the reservation. But because I'm so new to Uber, it cost me an extra like $20. But it's all good though, Wyatt.
They got you. They got you.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it though. But I'm retired. That's what I worked hard for and sacrificed.
I hear you.
And I got the money. I might as well spend it.
I hear you.
I don't need to pinch pennies no more.
I hear you. That's a good point.
Right. Now, the reason I called, you started talking about your back.
Uh-oh, you broke up, Drop. I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said, the reason I called was you started talking about the Bengals.
Yes.
And it reminded me of the Colorado Buffaloes and Shedeur Sanders, the starting quarterback, son of the coach, Coach Prime.
Right.
And he gets sacked so much, but see, he don't throw interceptions. But people say, oh, he holding on to the ball too long, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he need to get down. So a reporter asked Coach Prime at a post-game press conference about that thing. Coach Prime said, well, look, my son is going to be a first-round draft pick. Who do you think is going to be drafting him? What kind of team do you think is going to be drafting him? Right. And he said, the team is going to be garbage. So the scouts and the team that takes him want to know that this quarterback is going to be tough, like Joe Burrow, to be able to sustain that weak offensive line, no playmakers on the corners. You know, he should be able to take them hits and get up. So I know the Bengals had a bad game yesterday. I know Colorado is 4-6 now, but both of them have dogs at quarterback.
Yeah, but
and
you know what?
Don't worry. Nah. Don't worry about Joe Burrow. I'm just telling you why. You almost threw him under the bus there for a minute.
I didn't throw him under the bus. Okay, I tell you what. Did Joe Burrow start the season this year?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Okay. Oh, you was asking a rhetorical question.
Well. Listen, you're right. He did. He did. You're right. He did. But he wasn't Joe Burrows. He was hurt. He was hurt from an injury that he sustained in practice, which was something dealing with his back leg. I guess it was his I don't know what it was exactly. I'm no team doctor.
But you know what? It came from all those sacks he took that first year he got hurt.
Well, it's a combination of a whole lot of things in an NFL season. So to say that Shedeur, what's his name? Is it Shedeur?
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders.
To think that you're gonna get your kid in the NFL because he's durable, I don't know if that's a good argument, because you can take.
No, what he was saying, why he was justifying leaving him in there, even though everybody know that the offensive line is garbage.
I know, but what I'm saying
and that's what they were saying. They were saying, why are you leaving Shedeur in the game? Because I think it was against the game against who was it? Not Colorado. No, it was Oregon State, where he got sacked like 8 times and he had to go get a shot at halftime. And they was asking, why would you leave your son in there? So in a later interview, the host brought the same thing to Prime, and he justified it by saying, my son needs to be tough. He knows what he's doing. And Deion knows what it looks like when his son is really, really hurt.
Okay, I get it.
That's why I said Joe Burrow went through the same thing with them sorry-ass Bengals his first year, because he was a number 1 pick.
Yeah, but there's still a risk factor there, Drop, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, because see, the host basically was saying, if Shedeur came out this year, or should he come out this year, and Deion was justifying it by comparing, if you're the number 1 pick, you go into a garbage team and you're going to get sacked a lot. And you're going to have to be tough to sustain those sacks and fight through the injuries and come back and lead your team.
I get it.
Okay? So again, Shedeur is going to be there next year, but Shedeur is a dog, Wyatt, just like Joe Burrow is a dog. Your team going to be all right. Okay? Y'all lost some players because y'all got good and players want to get paid, Wyatt.
Well, no, I understand that, but there's still a level. Right. There's still a level of risk when you leave a quarterback in the game. When you're talking about Colorado's guy, there's no reason why he should be in the game when they're down 30 points or 40 points in the fourth quarter. To sit there and say that he's going to be tough.
Deion raising dogs, Wyatt.
I know, but dogs get bit back sometimes. You know that, right? You got to be careful. You know, he's already got a first-round draft pick kid, and he's coming back to school next year. And it doesn't make any sense to run the wheels off of him. You understand what I'm saying? He's already
shown.
Everybody
agrees. Why? That's why they challenged him. They're starting to ask these questions.
And I say the same thing about Joe Burrow. To be honest with you, Joe Burrow should have probably never played in the first game, second game, possibly even the third game for the Cincinnati Bengals. I know Bengal fans don't want to hear that, but the truth of the matter is Joe could have really got hurt during that time that he wasn't mobile and couldn't play. You see what I'm saying? You're a sitting duck back there, bro.
But he a dog.
Yeah, like I said, dogs get bit. And I'm just being honest, bro. I mean, you can hurt somebody.
Hey, Wyatt, again, man, y'all got a good team, but y'all used to be garbage just 3 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, man, I'm talking about now. And look, we didn't been to the damn AFC Championship game like two, three seasons
y'all went to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. So I'm not complaining about the history of the Bengals or we got a horrible team. I feel that I feel that it's reasonable to be critical of what we see as Bengal fans. That's wrong. And I just think that they paid a lot of money for an offensive line that's getting the brakes beat off of them in certain situations. What's wrong with that?
No, it's nothing wrong with it, but I just wanted to express the comparison because I know it's some Colorado Buffalo fans in the chat. It's almost the same thing. The Colorado Buffalo fans with Coach Prime coming on every Saturday. They got all the pregame shows in Boulder, and they start off 3-0, and then they lose 6 out of the next 5.
But you got to look at it like this.
And people are starting to question: should Prime go to the NFL? Should they take his son out when he get destroyed? All these things, but it's the process. It's the process.
Look at this though. Okay, I know a lot of people tripping because we talking sports, but I love sports, okay? And I don't have a problem
Well, you did say you don't have nothing to talk about today.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not tripping on you because I love talking about sports, trust me. But let's just look at it for what it really is. How were we expecting Colorado to do well this year against top 25 teams? These guys are seniors. They got, 5-year starters, 5th-year starters. They got 340-pound guys that's been in the Pac-12 for 3 or 4 years now. They're lucky to have the wins that they have now. They were 1-11 last year. You see what I'm saying? They may not go to a bowl this year, but they don't have the toughest schedule remaining. But they've played teams that are in the top 25, the top 10. You don't expect them to win those games. But guess what, Drop? Even with a subpar line, even with a subpar team, when it comes down to the trenches, the big guys where it really count. I have to say, bro, Colorado's been in almost every game they've played in. Every game they've been there. See what I'm saying?
Except for Oregon.
That's all. But look at Oregon.
Oh man, they blowing the brakes off of everybody.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's not. They're a seasoned veteran team. They got speed. They fast. They always, they well above average. So
quarterback been playing for 6 years.
That's what I'm saying, bro. All of that plays a factor. And Deion Sanders got them little brothers out there playing because he raised them. And they, it's no different than when we was little kids playing a certain way. We played each other. And then when we went and played like Golf Manor teams, which were predominantly white and stuff, we was fast, but they was big. You hear me, bro? Them boys was eating some corn.
I used to see it on the basketball court.
Hey, bro, they were big. They were much bigger than us. And we had a hard time. We would start out fast, but we that difference would weigh us down. It would really weigh us down. And over a period of time, the weight and the bigger kids tend to drain you. You know what I mean? So, that's why in boxing there's weight classes. There's no weight class in football.
Anyway, Wyatt, I appreciate you taking my call.
All right, brother.
And there is a long shot. If Colorado could find a way to win one of these next 2 games, they got to play on the road. They have a shot to get to a bowl game with 5 wins.
Well, I think it takes 6, don't it?
No, there have been teams that have been invited to bowls with 5 wins because some of the leagues have contractual obligations with certain bowls. So if you can't fill that slot, they'll take a team like a Colorado that they know.
Yeah, Colorado gonna
fill
sell
the seats.
Yeah,
we'll get advertising. Coach Prime gonna pump it up.
Yeah, they gonna sell, and all of the hip hop culture and all them guys coming to that
man.
game.
So. It's been teams with 4 and 5 losses. 5 wins that have went to bowl games.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a long shot. But brother, again, we ain't talking no politics. I know some people freaking out. Daryl Carpenter. But I'm gonna let that slide because my mind ain't right. I've been away. But I will be calling you tomorrow.
Okay.
About all this chaos. Because it's a dog world out there, Wyatt Live.
I understand.
I saw your dog. I saw your dog in the intro.
Yeah, that's Duke. He a
All
killer
right.
too. He a killer.
Oh, I
He
can
a
tell.
killer.
It ain't the size of the dog in the fight.
That's right.
It's the size of the fight of the dog.
That's
Peace
right.
out, Wyatt
All
Live.
right, shout out to you, Joe. Thanks for calling. Thanks for engaging. Black Russia, I think he said he was going to call. He's going to blame it all. He's going to give us a breakdown of why the Bengals lost, I'm assuming. But I mean, you know, I'm the biggest Bengal fan ever. But don't think that they're not approachable of being criticized. I mean, most of the games that we lose, it boils down to the same thing. Now, we had some drop passes and some missed coverages, but for the most part, man, that offensive line for 3 straight series, it just looked like they weren't even supposed to be out there. So you know, I don't know if y'all seen what I seen, but I seen an offensive line that was just not giving Joe Burrows what he needed, and you can see the frustration in Joe Burrow's face. You can see the frustration in his face. He's just, you know, he's tired of getting up. You know, he's tired of getting up, and they're shooting him. They're shooting those gaps, and they're making it real tough for him. All right, let's go back to the phone lines real fast before we move on. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's Black Russia. What's up, Wyatt?
Hey, Black Russia. What's good with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm holding on, man. You know, tough weekend for me because of the loss and a couple other things in the city. I was here over the weekend to take care of some business. And, you know, some things don't work out the way you plan. And when they don't work out, you kind of have to just get up, dust yourself off, and move on, right?
Yeah, you got to always hit reset every once in a while.
Yeah, boy, my reset button, you know how when you have a button and it has the direction of what it is, like it says on and off or reset or reload or whatever like that? My reset button, the paint is rubbed off. Like my finger hits it so much that I've taken, you can see the smear of the word, just reset is not there anymore. It's just the S is there. All the rest of the words are just kind of faded off. I reset a whole lot, bro.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, that's life though. If you don't know how to reset, then you're not gonna be successful out here.
Absolutely. What's good, man? What's on your mind?
Man, the Bengals game. I mean, I know you had no agenda today, but like it's the money morning quarterback situation, and I'm putting it at the feet of Tyler Boyd. You are a professional football player. Like you just made a big play to get it downfield. You just got the ball, got like 40-yard game. He going back to you, bro. You hot.
Yeah.
And you dropped the ball, you dropped the touchdown.
He did.
Now, look, I agree with you in the sense that they had multiple ways to win that football game.
Yeah.
Multiple. Joe Burrow, yeah, he only threw 2 picks. He ain't throw 3.
2? Okay.
He threw 2. But to your point though, he threw 2 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. He threw one in the end zone too. That, you know, that hurts more than that hurts. And he threw it in a crowd of 3.
Throwing in the fourth quarter is a problem.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
So I get that. Now CTB, Cam Taylor-Britt, he got that pick. Could he have scored? Yeah, maybe. But, like, you still got to remember how they ended the drive. Joe Mixon got in there for the touchdown. So, like, they converted on that turnover. But as it relates to the whole game, I agree with you, bro. Like, the offensive line is terrible. For them to have the elite weapons they have, the offensive line is trash. And I don't understand it. Orlando Brown Jr., we gave him what, $60 million?
Yeah. Can I say something about that? Look,
sure.
You and I both said, like, we on the same page. They having issues. Now, are they trash? I don't know about trash. Let me tell you the difference, Black Russia. It's not that I don't want to trash the offensive line. I'm just gonna say they're not getting the job done. And let me tell you what the difference between trash and, like, if they were trash, I would just say they're getting trucked. The difference is they're not picking up the assignments right. They can hold their block. They can do what they need to do if they know what's coming at them. What happens is these guys play strategic. A lot of people, you know how it is, bro. They're strategic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
you game plan it, for sure.
Right. That's what the film room is for. And to be honest with you, bro, like, Joe Burrow has to recognize, and the center has to recognize his line coverage. And I just think that there's a disconnect right there. I don't think that they're knowing, because they had linebackers putting Joe on his back 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. How does that happen? They're splitting the gaps and you don't see them coming. And then when they hit the edges, you don't see that coming. So that comes from these guys up front. They got to see that. They got to know. So they're not really trash. They're just not working in a unison the way they should be working right now. And that comes from not playing in preseason. That comes from your coaching staff not understanding what Houston bringing. There's a lot of nucleuses there, bro. And they're good players. They're good. They're great players. These guys blocked for Zach. What's his name? Dude down in Dallas. You got your boy Brown, who was blocking for Dak.
Kansas City. Brown came from Kansas City, right with Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Brown came from Mahomes, and then you got Cottis what's his name?
Caldas.
Cottis. He came from.
Oh, yeah, Kappa. I think his name's Kappa. My bad.
Kappa came with from
Patriots.
Yeah, but he was with what's his name for a while.
With Tom Brady.
That's what I'm saying, bro. These guys know what they're doing. It's just a matter of picking up what needs to be picked up from the line of scrimmage at a certain time, man. That's all it is, bro.
I get it. And when I say trash, the ability is not in question. Yeah, okay, I won't say trash in the sense it's the ability. But like you said, to work as a cohesive unit, that's trash. Yeah, I don't never see Caldas. If you're watching the game, for real, you're watching the offensive line, you're watching the defensive line, you're not just watching the stars, you're watching the whole game.
Yeah.
You don't see the offensive line talking and pointing people out. Like Burrow's doing most of that, but he can only catch so much because he's under the gun. The offensive line, to your point, they got to work that stuff out, like who got who. Because otherwise, you're going to have somebody free running through there. And then Joe Burrow's under pressure, and like he going to try and make a play. He ain't trying to take no sacks. He's not trying to throw the ball out of bounds. He's trying to make a play. And Joe Burrow has to adjust to that too. But, I mean, I'm not going to blame – I can't say that Joe Burrow cost the game with the 2 picks in the fourth quarter. Were they good looks? No, they weren't. But you got to understand his mindset. His mindset is, we got to score. I got to try and make a play. Like, they weren't necessarily in – when the one was a touchback, so that was in field goal range. But at that point in time, the game theory was down 10. I mean, a field goal, yeah, it helps, but it don't really help you a whole lot if you're trying to get a touchdown. So Joe Burrow got to adjust and just take what the defense give him instead of being, trying to force stuff in the fourth quarter.
Right.
I get that part. But Tyler Boyd, it hit you in the hands, bro.
Yeah, it hit him in the hands. You got to catch that. But you know what? I look at it like this, bro. I'm going to say two things, and then you can have the floor right back. One thing about Tyler Boyd is this. It was his 40-yard or whatever 50-yard completion that put him in the position for him to drop the ball in the end zone. He made an excellent play to even give us hope at that time. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of factors where, that if he wouldn't have made the nice play before, he wouldn't be called the villain now for dropping the ball. So it's a lot of factors in there. But here's the other thing that I'd say about our play. I think that the Bengals need to take more risk earlier in the game so you can recover from them mistakes. The fourth quarter is not the time to make mistakes. Okay? Right. You have to go into the fourth quarter playing steady, ready ball. You can't go in there trying to play from behind. You're going to have to take risks. And a turnover in the fourth quarter, that's detrimental to a win. It's hard to win when you're turning the ball over in the fourth quarter. You got a better shot of winning the game if you turn the ball over in the first or second or third quarter. You can't turn it over in the fourth quarter when you're behind. So, I mean, the clock is more important in the fourth quarter than any other quarter.
For sure.
Those turnovers hurt you. And now the clock becomes an enemy. You see what I'm saying? It's like having, it's like having the 12th man out there. That clock is running up against you. So I just think they need to they need to take more risk earlier in the game. So if the play don't work out, they can recover from an interception or a fumble or something of that nature. Fourth quarter turnovers is detrimental to any team in the NFL.
It's always going to hurt you.
Absolutely.
But another thing is, too, I don't think they give Joe Mixon the ball enough.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that Joe Mixon is one of the best backs in the league. I really think he is. I think he could do more, but I think that the Bengals are so talented with the wide outs. The tight end is kind of questionable right now.
It's very questionable. It's by committee.
Yeah, but for the running game, I just think that they should give Joe Mixon the ball a little bit more, and then that'll open things up for Chase and Higgins, man. And we got to get a solid tight end in, someone that's a threat. or create a threat tight end. Give him the
We
ball.
should have paid Hurts. I really think we should have just paid that man his money.
Yeah, well,
because I think Hunter Hurst was a good complimentary.
They only have so much money. They got to get Higgins some money. They only have so much money, so they can't give it to everybody. And that's just
right.
That's just hitting that cap. That's the strategy of the game. They got to either go out and create. You got to create your weapons too, though, bro. You gotta create these guys. Get them the ball. Give them the confidence that they can be the tight end like Kelsey and them guys. Get them the ball early. Make them a threat.
Mm-hmm.
You create these. You could create a star, bro. You could create a star. He might not be the fastest after the catch guy. He may not be the best blocker and all that. But damn it, getting them 3-yard, 4-yard routes and get his hands on the ball, and that open up a lot of stuff. You get you a guy that's building his confidence up, and then that'll open up for other things to happen. That's just my opinion.
No, your opinion is very valid. I mean, I look at the game like, hey, yeah, I'm personally putting it on Tyler Boyd's head. I mean, yeah, but there's, like you said, there's other ways it could have won that game. Like, Joe Mixon should be getting screens. He should be getting the swing pass, get him some space.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that, because they keying in on the wide receiver. Even Jamar Chase, he was limited, still had 5 catches, 100-something yards and a touchdown. They already know they looking for him, but right. you gotta. I think Zach Taylor's got to do a better job scheming guys open.
Yeah.
I mean, and T. Higgins, look, I don't know if we should pay him. I like T. Higgins, but like, he's injury prone. He's become injury prone, and I want them to pay him, but like, if you miss a game, your best ability is your availability. And you missed a game like that yesterday. T. Higgins playing in that game yesterday makes a difference. And I understand injuries happen. But we're supposed to cash you out and you missing games? Like, a lot of teams ain't doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, hey, it's disappointing. They got a lot of work to do, bro. 5-4. I mean, it's not terrible, but
let me ask
the way
the
schedule falls is going to be tough.
Let me ask you something. We still got to play the Steelers twice. And still got Cleveland one more time, and
Baltimore Thursday,
Boston and Baltimore. But here's the thing: if I'm not mistaken, the Super Bowl year. I don't want to get anybody hype. I'm just saying this. I believe the Super Bowl year, if I'm not mistaken, we were 5-4 right around this same time. Now the schedule might play out different, of course, that year, but I just think that our struggle is the division right now. So, we just got to get that last spot. We want to get that last, 7th spot or
yeah, we want to be 7th because that first the number 1 team gets the bye and everybody else plays each other.
Yeah, so
we just want to get in.
We just want to get in, but we got to make sure that we take care of business in our conference. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna move on. Check this out. If anything, I it's gonna be a tough game Thursday in Baltimore. But I got the Bengals, damn it. And it's not just because I'm a Bengal fan. I got the Bengals because the Bengals are road warriors. You hear me? Like, we go into Kansas City. We go into Baltimore. We go into Pittsburgh. We go into them hard-hitting ass teams, and we come out with victories.
And they do work, right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We come out with victories. We play better on the road than we do at home. And we hear who they all night in the stadium. Who they. And then we go down, and a quarter of the stadium in Baltimore will be Who Dey fans. And in Kansas City, there's only so many of us there. I'm always, I go to the Kansas City games. I go to the Baltimore games. I go to the Cleveland games. But when we're on the road like that, bro, it's not that many of us in the building. And I'm going to tell you, bro, the team responds better on the road. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to the road games, so I've been to Cleveland like one stage. I went like four years in a row on the road to Cleveland. Then I'd have been to Tennessee, watched them. Like I'm on the road too. I watch these guys, and I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
It's not the death knell, but they got to figure it out as it relates to how they're going to win games. That's what it comes down to. Figure out how to win the game. This stuff's going to happen in the game.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You can have good stuff and bad stuff happen, but you got to find a way to win the game. And that's why I put it on board. Like, dog, you got it. Oh, it's not that you're infallible. Like, you can't drop balls. But in certain spots, when the game's on the line, those are the playmakers got to make the plays. You know what I'm saying? And even with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow can't throw 2 picks in the 4th quarter. You can't do it.
No. Well,
because like you said, time's your enemy.
Here's the thing. I don't want to say it's still early in the season, but we're still at a point where when you make a mistake like this, when you have when you have a drop like this, so to say, in your win and losses, you can recover from that. It's not the end of the league. I mean, it's not the end of the situation, the
Right.
season. We had people in our division that actually lost. You see
Right.
what I'm
Baltimore
saying?
lost.
So
That was crazy
yeah,
too.
so that helps. That helped us out a whole lot. The fact that some teams lost, and we lost a little ground, but with them losing too, we kind of stayed in the same position that we were last week coming into this game that we lost. So I tell you what, if we beat Baltimore this week, I'm not sure who's after that, but if we beat Baltimore this Thursday night,
Steelers.
yeah, see, those are two strong games. We got a lot of injuries in places where it really matter right now. And that's
Yeah.
going to play a major factor on us, man. I don't know if Henderson's going to be ready, and I don't know if Hurd, I don't know if those two guys are going to be ready. What's the guy? The other?
No, Henderson's gonna probably be out a few weeks. He had a hyperextended knee.
Yeah, that was
he
a
ain't playing this
horrible.
week.
I've had that happen to me before and didn't see it coming just like that. And it was not even during a play. I was standing just like he was standing. And this was on a basketball court though. I was standing and a guy came down and clipped me just like that after a play was over with. Nothing was going on. And I know exactly how that feels. That is the worst feeling in the world. You didn't even see him coming. And then you get that hyperextended knee like that, bro. When he was rolling on the ground like he was, I said
saw that shit too. Like, damn.
I felt him because I did the same thing, bro. It was horrible. It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, so I can't see him playing Thursday.
No, probably
he might play against the Steelers and get like 10 days off after that, but he's not playing Thursday.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. All right, Black Russia, I appreciate you calling in, man, and giving us some content, man. I really do.
For sure. Take it easy.
All right, brother. Thank you. I'm still Who Day. Thanks, Black Russia, for calling in and engaging. It's still Who Day for me, but the Bengals, just because they're my team, don't mean that I can't be critical of, what I see. I mean, I'm still going to buy the ticket. I'm still going to watch them on TV if I don't go to the game. They're still my team. I still support them. I mean, I'm not burning my jerseys and my hats and my apparel. I'm not doing any of that. But the truth of the matter is, I could criticize what I seen. Yeah, I mean, shit, why not? That's the fun of the game and the sports. I'm not one of them participation type of guys because we were just there. Just because we was there don't mean that I should just be happy. We there to win. And if we don't win, I got something to say. When they win a game, I praise them. So the same guy that can take the praise should be able to take a little criticism. And I don't think that I said that Boyd need to be benched, don't pay him, this and that. I mean, it happens. Boyd had a pretty damn good game, to be honest with you. He just dropped one pass that really, really mattered. But he also caught a game pass that put us in position to be able to get down there and try to execute a touchdown. Pardon me. So, I mean, you can look at it a couple of different ways. What if he would have dropped that pass before that one? The one that got us 40 or 50 yards to put us down inside the 10. What if he never made that catch? Then we would have been trying to go 60, 70 yards down the field or 60 yards down the field to get in field goal range or a touchdown range or whatever. So I never look at one play as being the difference. A lot of people do. A lot of people seem to think that one play is the difference in the whole game. No, I've seen a lot of missed assignments. I've seen some missed tackles. I've seen a running back run over our defense. Houston, Texas, what's that kid's name? Singleton or something like that? That kid had an amazing day. And for some odd reason, let me tell you the two things that beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and then I'll move on. I know y'all don't want to talk sports. Sorry, it's all I got right now. The two things that beat the Cincinnati Bengals that I worry about every time is this: rookie quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks. Those are the two things that really, really hurt the Bengals whenever we get a chance to play somebody. Rookie quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks seem to be something that we just haven't been able to deal with for decades, even with the new Zach Taylor in here coaching. We have a problem. Sorry about that light, guys. I'm sorry about that. Let me turn a little bit, see if I can get it off a little bit. Sorry, it's sunny here. So the light is cacking through the door. I could probably shut it down, but my apologies. We're only going to be here a few more minutes. If you have a topic or anything or want to talk to me or ask a question, feel free to call in. Hey, in the Wyatt Live Messenger group, I put a movie And over the weekend, I kind of discovered it at the airport. I was at the airport and I was going through my little, my movie log, things of that nature. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see if we can get this thing. Let's see if we can get this sun out. That's a little bit better. Let's see. That ain't it. Let's go over this way a little bit more. Sorry about that. Um, I put a movie in that I think everybody should maybe want to look at. It's interesting. And I hadn't known about it. Let me just give you a little bit of information. The movie is called 88. Now, to a lot of people who've seen the message, I seen another movie called something 88. The Theft of 88. It was a bank robbery movie. It was based out of Chicago. It's not that movie. Jeez, oh Pete, what the hell is going on? Sorry guys, this is getting worse. One second. I swear, like the sun just dropped into my foyer here. This is crazy. Heist 88. Thank you, Daryl Carpenter. Heist 88. Let me do this. Let me see if I can move. One second. One second. Heist 88. My apologies, y'all. I'm trying to block this sun, and I'm not going to do all that. We only got a little bit more to go. Wow, what type of shit? All right. All right, let's just, can you guys see me okay? Can you see me okay? Can you see me okay? Sorry, the sun just went right back. Okay, let me move on. There's a movie. I'm going to put it up on the screen real fast. That'll help what I'm doing here anyway. We're on live, guys, so, it's not recorded. If it was recorded, I would be able to do something. This is what it looks like right here. It is the movie 88. I am not a promoter of these movies and things of that nature, but this is what I want to do. That's true. Black Not Democrat said, put up the young Wyatt photo and keep talking. That's a good idea. I think I might do that if the sun don't pass me. And the thing is I have water right outside here. So when when you hit the pool, there's a huge, huge glare that comes off the water and stuff, but that's okay. This movie right here, go check it out. Don't go to the movie theaters. Just pull it up. It's on Stars. I believe it's on Prime. It's called 88. Here's one of the good reasons why I want to promote it a little bit if I can, is because Charlemagne the God, believe it or not, Charlemagne the God, and I'm shocked, Charlemagne, you did a great job. Charlemagne the God is the executive producer of this. It's called 88. It has your dude from, what was the movie with Nick Cannon? Drumline. All right. Drumline, the guy in the middle who was the band director, and then the girl that plays on Power with Ghost, his wife. It's a really good movie. Okay, the acting is not all that great. All right, the acting is not the best in the world, but you'll get used to it. You'll catch up. And then there's a new dude on here. I'm not sure what his name is, but Charlemagne the God is the executive director. Yes, I believe it's on Stars, Steven Speed. Let me show you a clip. How about I do that? That way that'll give the That'll give the sun some time to die down on it. How about I do that? Let me see if I can find the I created a clip. Maybe you guys could see this. Let me see. Where is it? What is it? It's called 88. Now, it's not Heist 88. I seen some of y'all in the chat in Wyatt Live Messenger talking about, yeah, I seen that movie. I pulled up a couple of them, and it's saying that it's Heist 88, not 88. All right, well, no, it's just 88. Here's the trailer to it. Check it out. I'm going to try to kill myself with the sun. Check this trailer out.
If you win, you won't be the first black president. That change the way you'll govern?
I want to give them the tools to be self-sufficient so they don't have to rely on us.
Let water find its own level.
Isn't that true equality?
We are One USA. We have raised more money faster than any other Democratic super PAC this election cycle. And we won't slow down until Harold Roundtree is in the White House.
I supported you taking that job. Maybe you would help that campaign focus on the real issues.
I've been analyzing contributions to our super PAC, and I started to see patterns.
Patterns.
They're all add-ins of the same number.
What number?
88?
All of it goes back to business interests associated with one organization.
We need to get ahead of this. We're sitting on a time bomb.
Where do we start? Follow the money? I don't think they're expecting to run into Black Rain Man.
White supremacists supporting a black man. You know how ridiculous that sounds?
It goes way beyond campaign funds.
It goes to the soul of the country.
Bury this. We never knew.
You stumbled on something far bigger than you think, Mr. Jackson.
I'm scared that one day our son could walk out that door and never make it back home.
8701, 2563, 71.17.
I am the architect of my destiny.
There's a storm coming, Mr. Jackson. Stay out of the way.
Mr. Jackson, I know who I am.
Yo, this is a really good movie. All right, like I said, it starts out really good, and then it gets a little slow in the middle, but then it picks up in the end again, if that make any sense. I was really, really, really impressed by the movie. I want to give a shout out to my man Charlemagne the God for even, putting his money up for it. This is a Charlemagne the God executive produced movie, and I think he did a real good job on it. And it shows a few of the things that we talk about here on Wyatt Live Show, some of the things that go on in politics. Now, I'm not a real big politic guy. Y'all know that. But I just think that this movie here might explain a whole lot of things. And it's like when, the preview really got me. That's not the original preview. I kind of got that clip from somewhere else. But when I start hearing things about why would white supremacists support black politicians, now my ears were going to go up. I got to pay attention to this. Like, what the hell? This is, I got to figure this out. It talks about super PACs. It talks about the money that is invested in the politics. It talks about people, where this money comes from. It explains to people how super PACs control, how they can control people. It's a lot of different information in there. There's a number called 88. I don't know if y'all understand what 88 is. It's a social number for some people. 88, the 8th letter in the alphabet is H. So if you look at H times 2, it's HH. All right. I don't want to give the movie away, but once you figure out where to find this, hit play, check it out. Charlemagne, I want my check, my endorsement check after the show. But I'm just telling y'all, go check it out. I believe it's on Stars. I have a box. I have this box thing that I use that I watch all my movies on. So sometimes I'm not really sure where to find the movies where you can watch them as well. But this one, I believe, is on Stars, and I believe it's on Prime. So go type in 88. I'm sure you'll love it. You're gonna get it. It's gonna be a good movie. It has a lot of factors. Also, the sister that plays Ghost's wife on Power, she does an excellent job in this movie. And I'm going to tell you one thing that I love about her. She's very militant. She's about her kids, and she love her husband. And guess what she is? She's a banking manager. She's not really a banking manager. She's a loan processor at a bank. And she's one of 2 blacks that work at this particular bank, and her supervisor happens to be black as well. And I think you'll find that conversation between them very interesting, because you'll see why some people get rejected for business loans. And I think this is a good piece of information that people need to, we need to pay attention to. And it goes into this. Keep this in mind. I've been saying what I've been saying about this situation, about banks and everything, for years. We've been on Wyatt Live for 3.5 years now. I've stood on my circle of position of being independent. This movie right here will show you why certain people don't want you to be independent and will put certain people in your path. And I keep trying to tell you that this banking thing is very important to us. It's very important to us, and how they slow you down from getting that money. 2 things that I know that have built America. A lot of people say say this and say that and say this and say that. Let me tell you, the 2 things that I've noticed over my years in being around the situations I've been in and dealing in business that I have, the 2 things that I noticed that most people get rich in America doing: banking and insurance. Banking and insurance. We have to affiliate ourselves in these businesses. So remember when we were talking about the railroad? I got a couple more minutes and I got to get out of here. Remember we were talking about the railroad sale? I don't call it the railroad. I call it the land acquisition. I call it the land acquisition sale that they did, because it's not really a railroad Cincinnati is selling. And by the way, I got the information. I was reading Cincinnati.com, and they said that the commission, or this board, is having a meeting tomorrow. I think it's in Walnut Hills, at the Walnut Hills Library. Somebody correct me on that. Jenny, I'm sure you know. I'm sure AK-47, if she here, they know. Stephen Speed may be up on this. I call him Stephen Speed. He might be up to speed on this, no pun intended. But they're having a meeting tomorrow, I believe, at 6 o'clock in Walnut Hills at the library. And the commission, the board, who put this railroad sale, in place, they're having a meeting tomorrow to vote on, or to discuss. I don't know if they're voting or just discussing what investment firm is going to handle the money. I'm sorry, folks, but that's very important. I got a feeling what direction that money gonna go in. I'm just saying. I kind of gotta, it's not gonna be obvious. It's not going to be obvious. You're not going to clearly see that this $1.6 billion is going to go into an investment firm where some board members have some interest in. No, it's not going to be that crystal clear. But I think if you really, really want to dig down into it, there's going to be some affiliation somewhere down the line. There's going to be some form of affiliation. Yeah. They're not going to give it. I don't think that they're going to seek out a minority owned, or, and I don't necessarily think they should just single out a minority owned, but I don't think that a minority owned contracted investment firm is going to be on the radar. I just don't think that. That's just my opinion. I think that these guys that are on this private board, they all have affiliations in these places that this money is going to be making money in, like they're going to invest this money. And I question, and it's just my opinion, I question if Cincinnati's going to get the money, the interest money, like it was claimed to be. The 50 million or whatever it's going to be, over and beyond the 25 they had already been making. I just don't think that money's going to be there like they say it is. I think they're going to get an allowance, but I just don't think that it's going to be the type of sale that a lot of people are thinking. And this is just my personal opinion. We're all entitled to one. But I just think that, and keep in mind, guys, I never said that it was a bad thing to do to sell it. I never said selling an asset is a bad thing. I've never said that. I said if you're going to sell an asset, make sure you replace it with one. And for me personally, the way I move in life, I don't think selling an asset for cash, liquid cash, and thinking you're going to reinvest it in something that's not certain. And for people that said there's a guarantee return, I'm going to tell you something. You just sold a 100+ year guarantee return. I can't see anything else being a 100-year guarantee return. I wouldn't even put money into Apple thinking that I got a 100-year play in Apple. Somebody's going to come along and knock Apple off the way one day. Somebody came in and made it tough on Google, and what's that not Hewlett Packard. All those used to be monsters in the game. And look where they are today. Somebody's always going to come. There's somebody working in the lab right now to make what we think the greatest and best investments in everything that we have. There's somebody in the lab right now that's going to replace them. Yeah, going to replace them. They're going to be the brand new thing. So we're going to have to sit back and watch and wait and see what happens. You know, you got to sit back, wait and watch and see what happens. Did we have, my bad. That's my light keep flickering. Can y'all see that? It's on the TV a little bit. It keeps flickering. Can you guys see me okay? Because my screen is a little different. It's like dark and it's flashing a little bit. The sun is kind of messing it up. Jenny, there she goes. She says, just Googled it. Just Googled it. Cincinnati Southern Railroad Board of Trustees, Walnut Hills Library, Kemper Lane, Tuesday, November the 14th, 3 p.m. So, I mean, I don't know what the engagement was. I don't know how many people were going to listen to what they were going to do with the money. I don't know what happened. I don't know if a lot of people were going to those meetings. I know they had a meeting in Walnut Hills. I know they had a meeting in several other areas. I don't know, what the participation, I don't know what the crowd looked like when they were having those meetings. Chances are the only people that are going to go to that meeting tomorrow when they discuss the investment firm that's going to handle the money, they're probably going to be the people like Damon Lynch and Iris Rowley and some of those people, because they had a clear-cut argument in where that money was going to go. I told y'all that I don't agree with everything that they say, but I agree with this one here. You make the largest land acquisition in the city of Cincinnati, and you don't take in consideration the groups in Cincinnati that are considered to be the leadership of the minority community. I just find that to be a little disrespectful, not like evil, but in a form of disrespect. Yes, it was. And I can just, like I said before, I think that they just don't consider you to be part of the process. That's why they didn't invite you. That's why they didn't have any, they didn't even think to bring you to the conversation. I just don't think that they felt like it was necessary. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to put it on the ballot. They're going to do what, they're going to do what they feel is best for the city. And like I said, maybe it is a good move for the city. I never suggested that it wasn't. All I seen was an opportunity where some people that was talking about reparations. I keep trying to tell you, you got to say more than reparations. You got to put a package together. Reparations has to be more than just words. It has to be, you got to give them a blueprint of what it looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. And after you guys watch the movie 88, you'll understand my argument. Now, I just watched 88 over the weekend. My first time ever seeing it. Charlemagne the God, like I said, did a great job executive producing this. And I'm just going to be honest with you. When you watch that movie 88, you'll understand why I talk about so much independency in our community. You'll understand why I'm saying, hey, we need a bank. We need to understand how money moves. We got to understand how these nonprofit organizations are making moves on us. And we have grown to understand what nonprofit organizations are. And a lot of them play our favor. They like play our first cousin. They like play something that's a special interest to us. And we got to reevaluate how these nonprofit organizations are moving. Because what y'all don't know is a lot of these nonprofit organizations are this. They only give up 20%, sometimes max 30% of whatever they're collecting to the individual. Like, I don't want to throw out certain names because that would be kind of me, zooming in on them. But if you have a nonprofit organization and let's just say it's about gun violence, because that seems to be a hot thing. Would you feel good if people was raising money off of violence on the streets and gun violence, and they were getting donations, corporate donations, and let's just say they got, I don't know, $100,000. $100,000. And when they get that $100,000, the victims only get 10% or 20% of that money. I mean, that just don't sound right. Why is it that the nonprofit organizations, here's the other thing, 3CDC, we're all mad at 3CDC, but I'm trying to tell y'all, why don't we have our own 3CDC? 3CDC is a nonprofit organization that was formed by people that's running under the same policies. You hear me keep saying this, but you can't be mad at 3CDC. They only formed something and made alliances with the people that control the policies that you vote for. Remember when Iris Rowley called up and I was like, well, listen, I don't think it's fair what 3CDC has been able to accomplish, but I can't like scream at them. They worked with your local politicians. They worked with the people in City Hall. They put that stuff together. They know what they're doing. I got a question for you guys before I get out of here. Somebody put, I don't know who it was. If it was you, please let me know. Somebody put in the Wyatt Live chat, I think it was this morning. You put in there that a restaurant is closing. What restaurant was that? What restaurant is that, guys, that's closing? Let me see. Let me pull it up real fast. I know y'all probably get it before me, but I want to just make sure I had the right thing. Oh, Hathaway's. Anybody familiar with Hathaway's? Stephen Speed, there you go. Hathaway's. And I think was it you, Stephen Speed, that put it in here? Because I see your name attached to it. So maybe it was. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Is Hathaway's, is that a Black-owned restaurant? Is Hathaway's a Black-owned restaurant? From my understanding, they've been in business for 68 years. Is Hathaway's in Cincinnati a Black-owned restaurant? Is it one of us? Do you know Stephen Speed? I've never been there. I'll be honest with you. Black Russia says, not that I'm aware of. Well, let me explain. So it doesn't really matter if they're Black-owned or not. It just would have gave us a little bit more of a... Stephen Speed said, I don't know. Let me just tell you what they're doing, okay? Hathaway's, the restaurant in Cincinnati, has been around for 68 years. All right? What they're claiming, and I know this to be somewhat true, not in this case, but I know it to be true how 3CDCs and nonprofit organizations do. Let me explain something to you. Hathaway's, the restaurant, is claiming, it's Hathaway's Diner. They're claiming that the city is the one that's shutting them down. They're claiming that the city is the only one, that the ones that's shutting them down. Okay, check this out. They may not be shutting them down directly, but indirectly, I can see how. Let me tell you why. Because Hathaway's is claiming that 3CDC owns the properties in the area that's allowing food trucks to come in. And everything that 3CDC makes, the city receives like 10% or something of that nature. And here's what they said. I'm going to read their thing so you won't get it confused and say, I said. All right, let me tell you what they're saying here. I'm going to put my screen face up, all right, while I say this, because the sun is coming out too high. So bear with me a little bit. You don't have to see me in order for me to. You don't have to see me. I want to read what Hathaway's Diner is saying. They're saying, this is their words. Well, there is a conflict of interest when the city is the one competing against you. Where there is 3CDC, there are not food trucks, but we do not pay 7% of our gross to 3CDC. So in return, we get all the food trucks competing against us all summer. But 3CDC is taking over our area. So now they want us to go, the food trucks will stop. It reminds me of the old mafia days. Pay us or get out. So, I mean, is anybody else falling? Do you understand what's going on here? They're basically saying that, dang, going it. I'm sorry, guys. They're basically saying, sorry. maybe we should do a whole show on this. Maybe we should do a whole show on how 3CDC is being accused of having something to do with this and the city. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should do a show on this. Maybe I should get a little bit more information and we grab and go do a show on it. Because I understand, let me tell you something. For the true food truck owners, if your son or daughter has a food truck, or if you have a food truck, or if you have a grandmother or an aunt or somebody that has a food truck, let me explain something to you. This is not a direct hit at you, okay? But I want you to understand something. I am not a fan of food trucks. I think food trucks, it has nothing to do with the quality of the food. It has nothing to do with any of that. I think that food trucks do a disservice to restaurants that have committed into doing brick and mortar business. Okay, like it's not fair that if I have a restaurant set up in downtown Cincinnati and food trucks can come surround my building and hit a lick and leave and then come back and hit a lick and leave. I don't think that's cool. All right. I think there should be a section for food trucks. I don't want to misrepresent my intent of saying food trucks are thieves or hit and quit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's not fair to the businesses that have committed, to a lease. They have committed. And then see, when you got companies like 3CDC who own these properties, they can control how the city sees the situation. Y'all better pay attention to how some of these business owners are looking at the moves that 3CDC is making, not just them, but what is City Hall accepting? You see, if there's money that can be made under somebody else's pain and suffering, that's, there you have to look at it. Here's what they say. Hathaway's Diner says, you never give up 100K taxes a year over 17K. That would be paid next month. This was totally personal. So Hathaway's has a problem here. They see that they're being pretty much drained out. 3CDC has some things to do with this. I'm going to look into it. Hathaway's also says this. Check it. They says, I'm not saying that we were put part of 3CDC in any way. I just recognize that the city pandering to give advantages to 3CDC. Not even sure it's your fault, but it's for sure true that 3CDC has about 90% of the city restaurants. And if you are not part of 3CDC, then you get food trucks competing against you as close as 200 feet. But I don't necessarily think it is 3CDC's fault. After all, it is not a nonprofit organization. And you see a lot of people laughing at that. They're laughing at the claim that 3CDC is not a nonprofit organization. It was kind of like them saying something sarcastically. We all know that they have they're classified as a nonprofit organization, but they make money and they get special treatment from the city. And now let me ask you something. A lot of people wonder why I talk about small business and capitals. Y'all have to understand, we have to understand that we have an uphill battle when it comes down to small businesses. There's way more going on with these small businesses. The attack on small business is real. And then when you have somebody like, when you have someone like 3CDC that controls 90% of the restaurants, they can call the city because the city is making money off of 3CDC. Now they can call the city and say, hey, we don't want these food trucks outside our businesses. So what do? The food trucks go get in front of businesses that are not controlled by 3CDC. So that makes it hard for the non-3CDC businesses. It make it hard for them to compete. Now they're splitting that little bit of money that's in that area. And like the lady said, or guy said from Hathaway's Diner, these trucks are sitting up 200 feet from their restaurants. Now I'm going to tell you something. I've had that happen to me in business before. And it's the worst feeling in the world. When I was a young buck in business, let me see if I can move this thing, man. Let's see if we can move this. I might lose some connection. I don't know. Let's see. Let's walk it. When I was a young buck in business, I was competing against companies that came in during the holidays. Okay? And what I mean by that is, let me make sure I had a right connect here. Excuse me. All right. Excuse me. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. I was competing against companies that have like that 3CDC status, okay? And what was going on there was this. These guys were coming into the Cincinnati area or wherever we were at that time. And what they were doing was this. They would come into the city of Cincinnati during a holiday season, okay? And they would set up for 2 months. Now, I done been there. My company's been there for months. We done signed 3, 4 year, 7-year deals to be in these malls and be in these, in these brick and mortars. And what happens is this. Then you got these guys that come in from New Jersey, New York, wherever they come from, and they set up a kiosk or set up in business right outside your location. And the mall and these, big locations, these venues, they don't have a problem letting these guys come in for 2-3 months, taking the money out of Cincinnati and taking it back to New Jersey, taking it back to New York. That's wrong. You have a steady business in your mall or in your venue, and you're disrespecting them by allowing somebody to come in for 2-3 months doing exactly what you do. They come in, they cut your price, and then they hit the lick and they leave. And that kind of gave me a bad feeling of food trucks, because food trucks somewhat do the same thing. Now, if you're a food truck owner, I don't mean anything personal, okay? I'm not trying to throw you out of business. I'm not trying to say that you're a bad person. But Cincinnati, pay attention to this. When your local businesses are not making money, they're not supporting the other local businesses. It's very basic economics. You can't let New Jersey come in Cincinnati and take the money. They're not spending that same money in Cincinnati. They're taking the money somewhere else. But what are you doing? The bigger picture here is, what are you doing to your local businesses? Now, I know I'm getting away a little bit of what the 3CDC thing is, but what they're claiming here is 3CDC, Hathaway's is saying that 3CDC owns 90% of the restaurants in downtown. And they don't have to deal with the food truck problem. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have the same problems that these small businesses have. And that is, now I'm sure, look, like if somebody from 3CDC calls down to City Hall where they have ties and they say, hey, we got 10 food trucks outside our businesses out here. 3CDC gonna make a move. They're gonna call downtown and say, hey, we gotta get this to stop. And then here come your city ordinance people saying, y'all can't set up here. Go set up over there. And now I got a brick and mortar restaurant over here. And now I'm competing. My lunchtime numbers go down significantly. First, they go from 70% down, from 20% down. They went 10% down one week, 20%, 30%, now 40%. Now you got a company that's been in business 68 years that has to leave overnight. They can't sustain it anymore. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you this. This is how you get a naked ass downtown. This is how you get a naked ass business. You saturate it with a bunch of kickback businesses, and then the good businesses that's not affiliated, they leave. They can't sustain, they can't do it. And everything that's costing those businesses that are making money, costing them more, it's costing the businesses that's not making money. It's still costing them more. Inflation is hitting companies that aren't making money too. Like these restaurants that are about to leave. Inflation's kicking their ass. And it's kind of sad that no one's speaking up or saying anything. And when I hear people, complaining one aspect of 3CDC, there's a whole lot to peel back from this onion. And I'm going to tell y'all something. This is why you hear me be so passionate about we got to be self-sufficient. We have to learn. Listen, I just want to say this. And you've heard me say this before. During the worst times, and all my white listeners, just fall back just 1 second. I love y'all. I love all my Asians. I love everybody that Latino. I love everybody. But I got to talk to my brothers and sisters right here one moment. Listen, this is why I go hard. This is why I criticize. This is why I say what I say. Because it is very important for us to understand self-sufficiency. It's very important that we understand that we need banking. Now, I understood that there was a credit union of some sort in Cincinnati years ago, and they were talking about this credit union fell apart, and then it didn't fall apart. That's just my figures. That's my way of saying that it didn't happen. It didn't work out. And it didn't work out because of some of the different things that I heard. I don't know what the facts are of why it fell out. I don't know that. But here's what I heard through the grapevine. Y'all know I'm not really big on talking about stuff like that of what I heard. But what I've read in our Wyatt Live Messenger group and a couple other places, I read that people didn't want to put their money in that credit union because they wasn't giving their money to these preachers. Shit like that. Okay, I mean, from my understanding, it had preachers that were, I don't know if they were the head of it or if they were the spokesperson or if they were the ambassadors of the situation. I don't know. But a credit union is just as good as a bank to me. Okay, they do business loans. We have to get in the banking business. We have to get in the banking business. And for all those that may not have understood where I was in my argument with that $1.6 billion, I was only making a suggestion. I was only suggesting that if they want to show us reparations, get black banking in Cincinnati. It's a big branch. It's a huge branch that you can build off of, because now you get into your ownership of properties. You get into your ownership of everything. Banking is where it's at. Use somebody else's money. They've been doing it for years, decades, centuries. You know, you have to do that until we can do it on our own. You have to use somebody else's money. And, what's that, DC? DC said a bank with a credit union. Oh, he says I bank, excuse me. He says I bank with a credit union. They are better than a big bank. Yes, they are. You're absolutely right, DC. Let me tell you why, in my opinion. Sorry about that. Remember when you weren't here yet, I don't believe, DC. But years ago, when I started Wyatt Live, my first conversation, sorry guys, my first conversation was about banks. And I told everybody at that time, this was before COVID, I said, everybody go get a credit union or a small bank, a savings and loans or something, because I want you to get personal with them. I want you to know the security guard at the front door. I want you to know every cashier's name, and I want you to know every lender's name. Remember that? And make sure you know their name and they know your name. And I said, it's important that they know who we are. Because remember when COVID kicked in? And I was like, hey, did anybody else get a letter about the PPP? Did anybody else get an SBA, loan application, an extension? Did anybody get, any type of, a 6-month extension on their loan, interest free? Did anybody else get that? Because the government was covering it. And I said, if you didn't, that means your bank don't know you. Did any loan officers from any of your banks contact you during COVID and say, hey, you're available for PPP? We're underwriting. Y'all know the banks underwrote all of that money during those PPP applications, and they had no risk. The banks underwrote the money secured by the government. There was no risk to the banks at all. So I wanted my people here on Wyatt Live to understand, touching that money, don't get into it unless you really legitimately have it. Now you see the aftermath and you see what happens when you go in and steal this PPP money. It was the easiest money to get. But if it wasn't for you, it was going to do you harm. We all know somebody that has been, in trouble over some PPP money. It's not the hardest move to make. It's not the hardest thing to do. But if you're not doing it legitimately, it can catch up with you. And I remember having this conversation on Wyatt Live of how it was important for us to deal with smaller banks, because you want your branch manager, the banking manager, you want the underwriters, you want them to know you. That's important. Remember we had that conversation? There's a lot of new people here. You may not remember that. Black Popeye, what's good with you, brother? I know you feeling bad too because of the Bengals. I think he a Bengal fan. I don't know. He either a Bengal fan or he just hustle off the Bengals, selling y'all those tickets. Oh shit, he said I don't deal with banks. I already know what that means. He said money ain't my God. Money ain't my God either. It ain't my God either. I mean, shit. Ain't nothing wrong with knowing it. Ain't nothing wrong with knowing about it, but shit, it ain't my God either. I learned that a long time ago. And what I mean by that, no pun intended, you got to be careful what you worship. Be careful what you worship, because you'll give your heart to it. You'll give your soul, you'll give your dedication, you'll give everything to it, and it might not pay you back like you think it's supposed to. So no, money's not my God either. But sorry guys, I'm trying to do the best I can with getting out of the sun. I'm almost done. So we're gonna end a little early because this sun is kicking my ass, kicking me in the butt a little bit. So let me see here. Yeah, I'm coming up against the hour, the top of the hour. I didn't see Emmanuel Livingston on here, so I'm assuming that I don't know if he's coming on today at 3. But if he is, y'all make sure you go check him out. Okay, I'm sure he'll have something to talk about. He don't watch the NFL. He don't watch the NFL, so he don't know what the hell happened in the Bengal game unless he watched it on ESPN. But he can't criticize the Bengals because he don't know what happened. He ain't see Tyler Boyd drop the ball. He didn't see none of this shit. He didn't see none of it, so he can't really say anything. But that all being said, guys, I'm getting close to the thing, getting close to the end. Make sure what y'all do. Make sure that y'all go watch this movie 88. I'm going to put it on the screen again. I want you to tell me what you think about it. I don't know if it costs anything to get it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if, I know it's on Stars. So if you have Stars, plug in 88. Nothing but 88. Not Heist 88. Not the 88 day or none of that. It's just called 88. And I'm going to give Charlemagne the God another shout out. He is the executive producer of this particular movie. And, you know, like I said, it started out really good. It slowed down a little bit. And then it caught back up. Has really good actors in it. You know, it struggled a little bit. But this is a, hey, Wayne the Travel Guy, what's good, brother? Black Fox says got 88 on cue right now. Well, I'm sure these guys will appreciate it. It seems to be a small budget film, but it looks good. It's on Stars. It's on Prime, and I think you'll like it. I mean, it might be a little slow. It might not be for everybody, but I think most people will like it. I'll tell you what I'll do before I get out of here. How about I play the clip again? I'm going to play the trailer to it. And let's see, maybe you'll like it. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe the sun will be down a little bit and then I can come back and close the show out. Check it out. Check out the clip.
If you win, you won't be the first black president. That change the way you'll govern?
I want to give them the tools to be self-sufficient so they don't have to rely on us.
Let water find its own level.
Isn't that true equality?
We are one USA. We have raised more money faster than any other Democratic super PAC this election cycle. And we won't slow down until Harold Roundtree is in the White House.
I supported you taking that job. Maybe you would help that campaign focus on the real issues.
I've been analyzing contributions to our super PAC, and I started to see patterns.
Patterns.
They're all add-ins of the same number.
What number?
88?
All of it goes back to business interests associated with one organization.
We need to get ahead of this. We're sitting on the time bomb.
Where do we start? Follow the money? I don't think they're expecting to run into Black Rain Man.
White supremacists supporting a black man. You know how ridiculous that sounds?
It goes way beyond campaign funds. It goes to the soul of the country.
Bury this. We never knew. You stumbled on something far bigger than you think, Mr. Jackson.
I'm scared that one day our son could walk out that door and never make it back home.
8701, 2563, 71.17.
I am the architect of my destiny. There's a storm coming, Mr. Jackson. Stay out of the way.
Mr. Jackson, I know who I am.
All right. Hey, Jenny says she's seen it on Stars. Jenny, did you like it? Was it interesting to you? Did you care for it? I'm just curious. I haven't gotten anybody's opinion on it yet. And I'm just wanting to know if it, I don't think it was like award winning. I think it was more information. I think it was it was it was I think it was informational for me when it come down to how super PACs work. Super PACs are the people, some companies, some organizations that put money together for politicians. Okay, and these super PACs have nonprofit organizations that they deal with. These nonprofit organizations can contribute to campaign funding unlimitedly because they fall under the nonprofit, the non-regulated nonprofit status. You see what I'm saying? This is very informational. And then there's a question on here that says, it sounds totally ridiculous that a white supremacist would support a black politician. And you need to hear why it's not all that far-fetched. And then what I want you to do is I want you to listen to how they describe how these funds are being distributed into these super PACs, into the campaign funds. And I want you to hear what they say in this movie as far as why, the motivation and the reason why white supremacists would invest into a black politician. And then I want you to tie in what they said in this movie to what do you see happening right now in America? What do you see happening in America right now? I've never seen this movie until this weekend. Everything we've talked about, this movie covers it. It's not the documentary. It's not that. It's a movie. But it tells the truth about how PACs work, super PACs work. It tells the truth about motivation of people, why they would do what they do, and things that don't make sense to us make a whole lot of money somewhere else. It really does. Jenny, I didn't get your answer. Let me see something. Did I see her say anything? I asked her if she liked the movie. She says, Amazon Prime. Yes, I did like the movie. Very informative. Yes, it was. Were you thinking that this may have had any similarities to President Obama's campaign? No. To be honest with you, Jenny, it kind of does, but I think it's not more on Obama. I think it's more, if you look at the outcomes, if you look at what's more involved here, look at what's going on under this administration. The Shauna Wright Hill, the movie is called 88. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see it. All right? Because she just got here. Sorry, fam. We got to take care of our family so everybody can know. Jenny, think of this. Think of this, sis. What's going on in today's society in America right now? What are all the problems we're looking at right now with immigration, inflation, bombings, and how many wars do we have right now going on that the America is funding? Now, does it make a lot of sense to you, Jenny? You understand? Don't it make more sense now of what we seen in the movie? And how could this movie come out right at the time of all this conflict? I don't think that it's a coincidence. I think that it's telling us something. And I think the movie is telling us what could potentially happen. And then the potential came to reality. You understand what I'm saying, Jenny? Because before this movie was out and ready, this stuff was forming up to what it is today. This movie, I'm sure it took them a year at least to make the movie, maybe even longer than that. The problems that we have going on right now weren't going on during that time. So these kind of coincide, they kind of go together. Why these wars were forming, why immigration was forming in America, all this shit was forming at the same time. They were probably making this movie. And they were giving us the information of why these things all happening right now. And you got to be careful of how these politicians, see, the politician is just the face. They're just the face. Follow the money. And for y'all that don't know what 88 is, I don't want to kill the movie or kill the story for you, but 88, the number 8, it's not really 88, it's really 8, but it's 88 because the 8th letter of the alphabet is H. So it's H HH. I don't want to kill the movie for you. I don't want to mess it up. But if you think of the HH and then talk about the money and who's getting these politicians that are getting this money, you guys will be surprised who you're voting for. You'll be surprised why they want you in a certain position. This movie say a lot. It tells a whole lot. And if you have the right, you don't need an imagination. You just need common sense. Common sense will guide you right where you need to be. And there's no way in the world that this is made up. And if it was made up, they would have to make up, they would have to make up things. And the truth of the matter is it's not made up because super PACs run and are functional just like they are in this movie. They don't know where that money coming from when it's donated from nonprofit organizations. How long have I been talking about how nonprofit organizations run on this program? I've been telling y'all they can't keep up with the money. They're not as regulated as businesses are. So you never know who's motivated to put certain people in place. You never know. So I tell you, we better pay attention. There's a lot out there that we need to learn, and it's sitting there. Jenny says this, because I'm talking to Jenny right now because she's seen the movie. Jenny, they ain't see the movie, so we ain't gonna give it away. All right, but this is what she says. She says, yes, it does coincide with what is happening now. However, the fact that they used a black president candidate made me wonder. Nope. Let's be honest. Y'all know they trying to pass Joe Biden off as being another black president. Who you think put that damn he's not, but I'm just saying, why do you think they keep talking about he's an extension of the Obama administration? They want us to think that. They want us to think that Joe Biden is just like what's his name? Joe Biden is just like Obama. That's what they want you to believe. So they want you to believe that this is, but it's the same power structure. So them using a black president now, and they use up to date because this black president is running for 2024 presidential. The president, the 2024. Watch the movie. I'm telling you, y'all gonna like it. But that's my time right now. I got to get up out of here. It's 3:00 and I got somewhere to go. I'm on my way back home to Florida. So peace and love to everybody, man. Catch y'all on the next one. I ain't got nothing but love for you, baby. And we'll finish this conversation up tomorrow, probably at 1:00, 1:10, 1:05, 1:15, something like that. Peace and love. I'm out.
I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm sure throwing the deuce right there. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm sure throwing the deuce right there.
Now I gotta work my wood grain wheel. Popping trunks, popping pills, seal, popping seals. High in the hill with my mind on meal. Piece and chain swinging, bang, chrome, shiny grill. Baby, I got $1 million dreams with my mind on cream. I'm in that mean green machine, clean on 19s. Flat screens in the headrest, swinging like a swing set. Brandy wine paint wet, coming down, that's a bit. I'm in the lot chasing bras like a lesbian. Full of that flower, I'm breaking on pedestrians. Higher than the street light, floating like a parachute. Busting like a bumblebee, mustard green Bentley coupe. Young gangster Mac gang, sharper than a thumb tape. Breaking them out, making all the boppers a track. Then they watch me, I'm rocked up, fully loaded and sloppy. Trying to hit it and quit it and walk off like Big Papa. Break them out.
I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm sure throwing the deuce right there. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm sure throwing the deuce right there.
I pull up like this, untouchable white wrist. I'm hotter than warm, every grape sun kiss. The truck go miss, 550 snow bunny. Billy Continental with the mink flows, dummy. Power wall money, that's expensive taste. And them friendly fools, we send them to my space. I'ma break them off until the backbone broken. Stainless steel drop, phantom, leave the top open. Then hit the fan, better cover your nose. And the store start burning, better cover your clothes. Concrete crumbling, glass shooting lasers, crawling and cutting up on 24 razors. I'ma show them how to make the slab look phenomenal. Chasing paper in the morning, call me Houston Chronicle. Hold on, then you buckle up your seatbelt. Swisher House, Young Dun, capital TF.
I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm so born up to try to slab. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm so born up to try to slab. I'm
higher than a satellite, crawling like a baby, maneuvering through the traffic like I'm Tracy McGrady. Still chopping on them buttons, I'm strutting and looking fresh. Switch hitting like Bergman, this is ballin' at its best. In that Minute Maid dropper with retractable roof. Finally wood, waving the hood, student loans on the two. The fifth wheel on the ground, in the trunk in the air. Wow, wow, baby, I'm the definition of player. My skills is so ill when working that wood wheel, tipping foes like a waiter. Beware the oil spill. Widescreen, mind brain, panoramic pippin'. I'm sipping on that Osama, baby, leaning like I'm lippin'. In that two-seater fleeter, it's me and the senorita. 3 ounces up in the liter, and it's 10 up in the heater. Mackin' the mama cedar, running game like a cheetah. I'm knocking them out the park, similar to Pangina.
I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm breaking them out real bad. I'm so born up to ride slab.